y'all don't shut up yet. Hello, anywho, y'all good. And then you won pie. Yeah, you won pie. She says, in the art of war, Pais won. Yeah, Pais won. That's true. I have no idea. You're gonna flee to that. Yeah. There's a disgusting white bitch right now running around with powers. Yeah, superpowers. Her gets murdered right there in 2053. Year Astro. Yep, the Vang spirits coming back down to Earth. The Vang white ancestor spirits. Yep, Pai's white ancestry of spirits. Yep, Vang reg spirits are arriving. They do break out of the saucer in 2052 year in country Laos in Thailand. They descend, and right there they fly to America, and then right there you destroyed a bunch of stupid white ghouls that didn't listen to Pai, disobeyed Pai. Yep, that's true. Pai didn't give a fuck. Yeah, Pai's King Cobra. Yeah, Pai's Va. The dumbass didn't believe you, Pai. And then those ram demons, Paul got your white people in broad daylight to see if you come out. Yeah, Pai do that to Chinese too. No, it's real. Yeah, it's real. I'll swing with the white holy sword. Yep, that's true. And dumbass. Factual, yeah, factual. Dumbass didn't believe you, Pai. He thought he was faster than your white grandpa rake spirit in the blue sky 4 trillion times around the planet per second. Yep, that's true. You think you're faster than 4 trillion times around the planet per second, woman? You're gonna die. You're gonna die with Pai's waking 4 fucking hours. Fucking bitch. Turn off her fucking shit in Norway, only to find out they dies now. Yeah, they dies now. Real. Yep, that's real. I'm not gonna even barter with your horn demons yet, because I see 2 hours. Pai just kept gunning them broad daylight. Pai murdered a total of 3 European horn demons. Real. Oh yeah, some look like ram, some look like some other forms of horn. And 2 hours of you gutting those things in blue sky, Pai. The fucking white male dies, Pai. Yeah, that's true. Note's fucking little server in the book of law. Pai thefted, yeah, right there in that building in the blue sky. And then right there, Pai flicked her off, and Pai said, right there, how are you going to become a god, stupid plastic king? Pai theft your only fucking god server for your spinal cord DNA, and Pai converted and used it as true. That's right, because Pai's a god, Hmong nation, that's real. That's why Pai flicked you off. Real, yeah, real. That's why Pai need to congratulate you stupid white people. Are the stupidest. A plus right there. 4 hours. Both of them they took. Yeah, he went and committed suicide. And then the dumbass that looted Pai's 4 King Cobra servers will be murdered to Astro. Yeah, because they looted it through incantation. But later on, when you get to the space station, Pai, you retrieve the 4 servers, repour it, and then your female ghoul, who was the owner of it, that is her real goddess server before her passed away, shouts and you reformat it, and then you win Pai out right there. A lot of children collapse in Asia and in White's Pai's side of the heaven. Because Pai didn't give a fuck. Pai's the 4-headed King Cobra. Yeah, Pai rival Cambodian. Pai murdered them too. Real, yeah, real motherfucker. That's why Pai made fun of you. Right there, he thought he was so spectacular. Pai murdered off the tigers from China. The Viper took a long time. Yeah, the Viper demon was a bit harder. Yeah, it was a bit harder. Not sure. The Pai multiply that. She threw right away. It didn't die right away. That's true. Yep, took you 9. Yeah, about 9 months to kill it. Yeah, that's true. That's the amount of time that Pai usually take to decrypt a stupid, regular, organic god or demon god. Real. Oh, yeah, it's real. The fucking shit didn't believe you, Pai. When you're fighting in the blue sky, your nanos in your backpack and your molecules are beaming from your UFO. Yep, you're decrypting it. Your rock elements there, yep, in the castle and other extenders are decrypting it. And right there, 4 days of cutting it open, you see its genetic code. Pai have all the cellular tissue, DNA. That's 100% law. That's right. That's why Pai told you. You dies, yeah, you dies. But down in the hormone go Pai there. And Pai, when it dies, the stupid pretend piece of shit and perma dies right there. When I Pai chopped you up, yeah, Pai chopped you up real. Y'all good. And the motherfucker, get prepared this. Y'all good. When it's all ground zero, you'll figure Pai owns, yeah, Pai owns you. And Pai not tell you. Pai ruin their stories because Pai know what the fuck is occurring there. Yeah, y'all good. And female, fuck you, female. Yeah, y'all good. And Pai said, take a look, Pai said. When you're done gutting them, 2 fucking lambs are murdered immediately, and then one of them finally told you the truth, that it is a hateful nation of Ukraine. Yeah, then it dies. Yeah, it dies. That's true. Y'all good. And then right there, Pai has no problem chopping up your fucking white nations. Yeah, that was a big norm in Asia sector. And way powerful Pai. In 2 hours, Pai. He thought you were so generic, he didn't look, Pai. You murdered near 4 Near 8. Yeah, 8 trillion per second. Yeah, that's true on their fucking yellow gods. 2 hours later, the fucking shit passed away in its chamber, knowing that you hate it. Yeah, that's 100% all those Mars. That's right. Who the fuck told you that Allah was anything clean? Yeah, Allah probably drew out your white dad's fucking symbol and put it right there on the internet. Real wrote his Persian alphabet right out. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And then Pi wrote, that's the great fucking stowaway thief that is powerful enough that Pi knows immediately it was hygienic in life, so Pi left it alone. Yeah, up there. That's true. Yeah, that's true. But in reality, it is a stowaway. Yeah, it is a stowaway. And Paiser, take a look. When you're done gutting Europeans, you did Ukraine, and then you found out the rest of those islands are extinct. Yeah, extinct. Yeah, extinct. Right there, Pi murdered off its last king and queen. This last fucking alien progenitor that came down in the 2 fucking hours. Yeah, them are nothing. Yeah, them are mammals. Ukraine, same scenario. Yeah, Pi's there in the blue sky, gutting and shouting. 4 fucking hours. He thinks he's faster. Yeah, he thinks he's faster. Bring it on. Yeah, bring it on. I have Peerless Ray. I have Peerless Ray. Every god nation has that. And he thinks he has that. Pi. Right when Pi uses it, your retinas are automatically melting in brain tissue. The automatic melt and die is real. Yeah, that's real. That is the ray that every god has. Yeah, y'all could. And they didn't tell you if you're not a real human god, you didn't get that woman. Yeah. That is to keep civilizations and other human gods out of you. That's true. Yeah, that's right. And 2 hours, but he didn't believe you. You used it. His fucking retinas melted, brain tissue missing, and then he knew it. It was not near. He's not allowed near your nation. That's right. That's right. And then 2 hours later, Pi kept cutting up his torso. And then Pi looked, what the fuck is you? Y'all good. And Pi didn't give a fuck because Pi murdered 47 Egyptians. Near 47. Yeah, near 48. Yeah, near 48. 1 took off because he's a lot faster. Pi equipped the 2 green swords. Pi versed them in the blue sky. And then Pi used them during that era. Most hateful is you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Pi didn't give a fuck. Yeah, good. Because Pi's pouring brand new space station, resealing black space. Pi not give a fuck about your human civilizations who are cripples, yeah, who are supposed to be gods, but nothing but cripples. Cannot even seal black space. Y'all go, Pi, you won. Yeah, you won, Pi. 2 hours later, look at the fucking shit. Finally weeping in the Middle East. That's right. Extinct. Yeah, extinct. Hell no, we not let a bunch of fucking Middle Eastern monsters go up there. Yeah, we know your DNA performance is not generic. Y'all could. I told Jenga Pi 2 fucking hours. Pi cut their stowaway. And it was not fun. Yeah, it was not fun, women. Yeah, Pi gutted them for about 4 to 5 days. 900 trillion times 80 gone per second. Those was a real war, guys. But 2 hours later, Pi noticed one of they matched. Yeah, they matched Pi's decks. And so Pi quit. Yeah, Pi quit. Because those are incredibly fast. And the dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. He says, what gives you the right? Because Pi has crucifixes, old technology, and alloy. Yeah, that's right. And the 6-sided stars symbol turned differently. Y'all good. There was 2 other crappy symbols, but the hardware and elixir kills even, murders even. That Egyptian got real. Yeah, it's real. It's real. Yep. It's not pretend. Yeah, it's not pretend. Pi took it from his grave, and Pi not tell him. Pi won. Yeah, Pi won. That's real. Hey, Pi, you booted into crucifix, but right afterwards, you Hmong, and you didn't tell him right there. His son's been murdered 4,000 years. Pi, yeah, that's true. And then Pi never told you. Real, yeah, real. Those perform similar to Crescent Moon. Yeah, Crescent Moon. Yeah. Middle Eastern gods. And you perform similar to Middle Eastern gods. But right there, Pi, after you cut open 47 blacks who were Egyptian from Jerusalem, white mom, you didn't give a fuck. And then you took off. Pi, yeah, 100%. Because I have a space country, y'all go, why would I give a fuck about your fucking nation on Earth? Yeah, y'all go on planet Earth. Means nothing diddly squat to me. Yeah, real. 2 fucking hours, Pi, the fucking little bitch, passed away right there in the Middle East, and knew Pi let him, Pi give him hell. Yeah, Pi give him hell. Real. Yeah, real. There's no need for talking peace now, bitch. Yeah. And then it was 2 fucking hours, you cutting stupid lambs and rams, and right there, Pi run into a bunch of fucking yellow immortals. And the stupidest nasty thing is, Pi You murdered off 3 fucking false from China, and then right there, the fucking females brought right out and murdered, and then right there, Pi flicked off that fucking bitch, y'all could. And then the other monster is right there in Brazil, some kind of white champion, Pi murdered him, and then the other thing is in Russia, Pi murdered them. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, those are all bullshit. Nothing but immortals, and right there, Pi, you ended the secret. She's real, yeah, real. Their fucking last country right now. Right now, they're right there in Norway and right there in Finland. That's true. In Russia, that's true. 3 locations. When Pi do your white men that have superpowers, women, you're done on planet Earth. Real, yep, real. 2 hours. The rake, the old white rake ancestor Pi. He gutted that fucking bitch with the hands going blue. Yep, yep. That bitch dies right there in Eau Claire. Out of all the cities in America, her chose to go over to Wisconsin and die right there in Eau Claire in front of her. Because the shameless bitch absolutely thought her was anything. Y'all good. Heck, there's a sinful fucking white bitch. Rest in peace, bitch. Real. Yep. And right there, 58. Yep. Right there, 253. Her dies right there in Eau Claire. Murdered by your Vang Ray spirit in the blue skies, looking for the rest of her family to gut. Yeah, real, yep, real. We're gonna gut and take everything back, woman, real. And bitch, real, yeah, real. We done playing with you, yeah. It was right there. He thought he was anything deadlier. The rays hit him, yeah. Ancient rays hit you, woman, y'all could. When Pi booted in, Pi also realized what other ancient ray hurts, yeah, y'all could. And then Pi cannot live. Some of your white people live because Pi checked on Pi's ancestors' UFO. When Pi found it, it was all stripped. The metal was all compound, and that's not how life works, woman. Yep. Pi murdered your fucking white nation right afterwards. Extinct. Real, yeah, real woman. You fucking little fucking bitch. In 2 hours, Pi, when you're done gutting those brown hairs and those fucking Swedens, and then those Romans, and then right there, her passed away right there in Iceland. Yep, y'all good. And then Pi murdered you fucking little bitch in Greece. Y'all good. What the fuck is you? Y'all good. In 2 hours of you fighting it, it disappears. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the fuck you is, women. Hey, Pi, what are you doing? Yeah, fuck you, African. You extinct. 3 months after you gain power, Pi. 5 fucking assholes fucking with you. Didn't believe you that the deadlier monsters in Brazil, Pi deleted him. Afterwards, Pi went straight to Russia to delete him, and then 3 monsters to be deleted in Finland. And then right there, yeah, Pi played along with Jerusalem on for a few hours, a few days. Because that is technically your white empress. Yeah, that's true. That's why Pi not say, Pi not say. And then later on in life, Pi, I saw you fucked up China, them dies, and right there, Pi, their only fucking white ancestry. I see a bunch of fucking lambs, and then those weird fucking heads moving their mouth and stuff. Yeah, that is her. They have a bunch of women that are part demon there, and then I told them go home. Yeah, go home. Yep. I murdered off the fucking chink. Yeah, real. That was real. I said, fuck you, bitch. Life is over. Yeah, life is over. When you gutted the fucking China dragon, Pi, it was those creatures coming out of the castle, the white cat, the castle in the sky. And then it went to release the Chinese tiger dragon. And then right there, you deleted him. When you versed him, it was 9 months. Yeah, it dies in the sky. I see it wrapped around you, but you swung fast enough the head melted, Pi. But 9 hours, you, Pi, you're healing. And I see a bunch of your right torso missing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it bit Pi pretty hard. Yeah, it bites pretty hard. It is a cannibal. Yeah, it's a cannibal viper demon. Real, yeah. You see Pi's head is there, and then a chunk of your right shoulder and your torso, and then your legs are still there, and then it's missing, and then I see you're healing, and you're flying the blue sky, and then 9 to 13 days you're normal, Pi. Yeah, you're fully healed afterwards, and it wasn't so nice, Pi. Yeah, it wasn't so nice, Pi. Right there, you kept gutting their fucking immortals, and you kept shouting among in English and in Chinese, and Pi said, bring it on. Yep, you'll end your fucking King Cobra from Thailand. Real, yeah, real. Right there, the pussy brought out 14,000 hawks, and Pi murdered them all. Real, yeah, real. And this royalty against royalty. Real, yeah, real. Right when you said it, Pi, it dies. And then right there, Pi spoke another cousin's tongue, and then it knows immediately Pi overrides is real simple. That's true, yeah, that's true. And then 2 fucking hours, Pi. When you whoop its fucking butt like that, it was 9 fucking hours of terror. Yeah, y'all good. Hey, Pi. Got the just one of the awesome. Yeah, about 2 years and it dies. Pi, yeah, it's a pretty tough demon. Right there in the blue sky, you versed it for 2 years. And woman, I don't need to eat. Yeah, Pi don't need to eat right there when Pi's fighting. And you'll figure, women, when Pi has immortality DNA, you don't need to eat food. Yeah, your skin never rot. That's true. And Pi just kept fighting it. It was 2 fucking years, Pi. It dies. And then you fly down, you kept gunning the stupid Chinese people in broad daylight. And then that fucking little bitch hiding in Malaysia dies real. Yep, you dies when you come out. Yep, real. Because right there, Pi used the holy white sword on it. Pi used that on your skin too. Yep, that's a real god weapon that can kill any human god, genome structure, cellular area, real. Yup, 4 hours. Yeah, they died. Yep, 100% do. You think you're richer than my rake? Right there in that flying saucer right now on Earth playing dumb. There's a reason why I can't awaken right now, because there's white goddesses who are nasty white vagina pussy who are breeding, and then 53 they go and hide when they're done breeding accurate. And that's why Pi didn't say nothing. Yeah, when those are in saucer and off the planet, that's when Pi assault them. And that's true. That's when your race appear and you got their demons and people in broad daylight. Real, yeah, real. That's why her knew it. Took off in a hurry right when Pi cut her open. Yeah, Pi cut her open real. Y'all good. Motherfucker, Pi isn't afraid of you. Y'all good. Pi killed him with eye post demon. Yep, y'all good. The other goetic demons will die. Yeah, 2 more. But that's several thousand years from now. Yeah, they're pretty smart. Yeah, they're pretty smart. Yeah, they hightail it off the planet. Yeah, that's true. All to me or to one of that, Pi said. Nếu được có một cầu kia bị số tệ, nếu bao được cái tiêu to real King Cobra, come on, little budget, and then 2,300, there's no more Chinese. Yeah, there's no more Chinese. And then Pi wrote real, because I don't want them. They want to coexist, go to Singapore. Yep, stay in Australia, or stay in Singapore, Australia, Canada, Brazil, and then don't dare. Yeah, because after I assault you, yep, every white nation put you in concentration camps and deported you. That's true. Yep, immediately. Because they saw Pi was so brutal. Hey, Pi, you said it was there. He didn't understand Pi's as old as 5-sided star. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. You didn't get it. Pi is the progenitor of yellow men and children, and you is the clone from Aztec fucking Ching Chong Wong. Real, yeah, real. The new white mammal clones. And that's why Pi never appreciated you, but eventually you win. Yeah, and you still have some kind of Egyptian woman in China. Egyptian woman right there, and yep, who are Chinese, but them are kept as pets right up there in Africa. Is that ever real? I said, you didn't die, and those are not perfect gods, but God is Pi. Those are science, and the dumbass passed away near his father right there in Lao Pi. And knew it. He says, how come you hate me? Pi wrote, because I'm Hmong God. I don't love you. I don't love you. I was sealed by the goetic demons for about 60,000 years, woman. Why would I love you? I got you. Yeah, that's real. That's real. 3 fucking hours before they let Pi live. Yep, they bred with Pi's dad and then came out Pi. Real, yeah, real. And those were Iceland goddesses, and Pi even hate them. Yeah, they did that to Pi for about 1,000 years. Real, woman, yeah, real. Pi's even part Iceland. Pi hated them. Later on in life, Pi, yeah, y'all could. And if you think that those funny thin people are not Iceland demons, they are. Yeah, they are Iceland demons. You saw the drawings in the goetic demons. Yeah, that thing playing the trumpet and the crown. Yeah, those are Iceland male demons. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Those have been enslaved by African. And I have no idea how you're gonna make it, woman, because Pi murdered even me. Real, yeah, real, yeah. Pi swung so hard, the motherfucker knew it. Pi knew it is, and yeah, y'all knew good. And Pi, when you check, Pi said, the moment you check with your third eye and your spirit, you knew it, yep, you gutted it, and it dies. Pi, yeah, yes, we do. It was 4 hours. Oh, you'll see Pi got you. He'll be screaming right there. Right there in 2052. That's 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Pi's rake spirit came down to Earth, murdered about 5,000 of you, yeah. And there's like 30,000 soldiers, yeah, spirits real, yeah, blue sky real, yeah, more than 80, yeah, more than 80,000. Where are you gonna flee to? Yeah, Pi's forces, Pi's army of spirits are right there in the blue sky. Pa'll gut you in whatever country. Real, yeah, real. 100% right, yeah, that's right. That's what I'll tell you the fucking truth. Pi technically owns the planet. Yeah, that's true. But Pi is nice enough because Pi not want to overtake you. Pi will naturally delete you. And then the ones that Pi keep, Pi have the demon for. Yeah, that's true. Because that is your ancestor demons, y'all good. Or Pi see some kind of good in your human DNA, that's true. The dumbass didn't believe me. 2 hours. It's fleeing in tears when you got it at Pi 100% do. And it says, Pi, you said, how come you hate me? And then you gutted it. Yeah, Pi gutted it. Because your nation's a stowaway. Yep, you went into another King Cobra sector, and I check it's a Burmese or Thai sector. And you have a bunch of human white gods and goddess there, and Pi gutted them. Yeah, Pi ended them real. Pi wrote prisoners of war to be looted and gutted like animals, and then allowed to breed back to population and gutted and studied and looted like animals. That's true. Because I have no idea how you think that King Cobras didn't know. That's true. And I have no idea how you think that the King Cobras didn't know. Because right now, woman, Pi is the new government system. The old government system, they lie to you. They tell you that you is a citizen. Bullshit. 2 hours after Grandma Hog's talking, the thing is murdered by Pi, and then everything goes to hell. Real. Yeah, that's true. And Pi said, look at that. He didn't believe you once you step foot in there. Yep, it's all over for him. That's 100% law. Y'all good. You think it's so tough, woman? Five-sided star was tougher. Yeah, Pi murdered him in Malaysia's junkyard. Yeah, y'all good. He appears after the Book of Law, and the African Egyptian, the African sun god's been murdered by Pi. And then right there, Pi fought him, and he was not funny. Yeah, he was not funny, woman. Afterwards, immediately Pi deleted him, but afterwards, I'll tell you the truth, he has the best supercharger equipped in his spinal cord DNA. That's true, yeah, from Egyptian offsprings. The fucking shit. Didn't understand. Pi theft one of the superchargers, did an emulation, and Pi can only use it for 3 days. That's true, yeah. Pi's throat ruptured and explodes too. That's true. Right there, yep, it explodes, and then you quit using it. Yeah, you quit using it. Because you knew immediately, that's new torque and new horsepower immediately. And then Pi, you said it was 4 fucking hours of you fighting, and then you knew it. Yeah, still too slow, and you out of there. It was so graphic. Five-sided star took you 7 million years to gut, and then him dies by because he's been perilous. And then he kept fighting. After Python, you matched his decks. Yeah, you ended him. Yeah, you ended him. Real. Because he is not regular white guy. That's true. The dumbass didn't see Pi's scar-type son came back down to Earth. Yep. In his yellow scar-type mode. His skin is all, burnt and stuff. And then right there, he fought. He murdered 20 trillion Egyptian. That's true. Per second, 13 seconds. Yeah, 13 seconds, and he lands. And then you see that is Pi's son. Yeah, y'all could. And then Pi didn't tell you, woman. Those are lied to too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those are lied to. They not tell you they're full gods, but they not tell you, woman. They not want you. Yeah, they not want you. Y'all good. And later on in life, Pi, they see your son holding the white sword. Pi, yeah, that's 100% law. That's noise. He says the ones that are holding green are your real sons. The one that is holding a white sword is one that you disown. Pi, yeah, that's true. And then later on in life, Pi, it was graphic. He says, we can already defeat Egypt. I wrote, that's low end. Egypt has low end. You should have seen 3 African gods watching. Those, you will know which one is faster than Pi. Yep, right there. Pi not tell you. That's true. Very creepy. And so they let it happen. And then he left the planet safely. Pi, yeah, that's true. You know how fucking scary Pi is? Because those are low end African war gods. The best fight scene. 13 seconds, your scar-type murder, 20 trillion, and then 4 white nations are missing from planet Earth. Yep, that's 100% law. Those are the white god nations. Yep, them wrong Pi. Yep, that's true. Them extinct. Real, yeah, real. 2 hours later, now he's running in his car, weeping. Yep, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. And then right afterwards, woman, I fought the double-wanded wielder, but not the original. Yeah, not the original. I check it. It keeps saying 13th generation or 9th generation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, really, by 14. Yeah, 14th generation of double-wanded wielder seedlings. And it's not the original man. Yeah, it's not the original man. But it is powerful. Yeah, he is powerful. Yeah, he's powerful. I never told you. Him somehow theft his way into one of the sectors. When you get there, you notice it is the double wander wielder sons, and right there, yeah, you ended him. He was not full of it, For 2 hours, you kept flying back, and then yep, your knights went in and perilous. And that's true. Yeah, that's true. He is too deadly. Yeah, he regenerates all the way. He's too deadly. Yeah, that's true. You don't even see how fast, When he fought your knight, he smashed 8,000 knights only to find himself barcoded. That's true. Yeah, not so fast, his magic knights are. And then they knew it, Double wanded wielders near, yep, 9,000,000 times faster. That's true. And right there he says, he said, you as an evil Hmong god, you know they're not that fast. That's true. 3 hours later, I told me, Doc, what's the how can you in Egypt live that way? And because Pi's royalty, yeah, Pi's royalty. You think I'm a cripple like African sun god? Yeah. Pi cut out of the Milky Way and built a new star system. Real, yeah, real. And then Pi didn't tell you. He was playing with white women and then they crippled him. And then he is a fucking ballistic black African crippled. Him is no good. Yeah, him's no good, yeah. And then Pi told the truth, and Pi flicked off that stupid idiot in Thailand. You didn't get it, woman? Pi is the one that made the eyeball elixir that can cut out and build Milky Ways. That's true, that's true. And later on, Pai's rich portal, where you did it with the 3 heads and the 4 heads, and then you never taught the 7 head. Yeah, that is law. Yeah, that is law. And then Pi told you the truth, kid. Those are Cambodian. Yeah, those are Cambodian. What's so cool about Cambodian? Well, they were enslaving Pi's mom and dad, the yellow progenitors on Earth, and gutting Pi's mom and dad. And African Sun God was decrypting Pi's mom and dad's DNA and Pi's mom and dad. And right there, them knew it. Yeah, them knew it. Those other yellow children went and developed an Aztec and Native American. And then that's when they created the Cobras, who went up there and resealed black space. That's true, yeah. That's how Asian gods reclaim their compilers to black space. Real, yeah, real. That's why Pi can't complain, but Pi hates Cambodia. That's true, yeah, that's true. But can Pi say nothing? No, because Pi is like this. Pi is part Demihawk, which is from Cambodian too, but Pi is the Burmese version, and then Pi not accept them, and it's different per hawk because the hawk created. The hawk gained from those humans with the tail, the legs of the cobra, and then created Pi. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, accepted Pi back into their civilization. And then right there, the children is bred with Pi and Pop killing Pi. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. He was so pissed off, he burnt your mom and dad's Malaysian continent in the ocean floor. Real. You see a little tiny piece of it, Pi. And then, they took off. Yeah, they took Pi when Pi was a baby and they bred it into Southeast Asians and Pop King Pi. Real, yeah, real. That is why people didn't tell you. You're so stupid. When Pi recreated the mom and dad's continent in Malay, that's where the 4-headed king cobras really are. Yeah, that's true, yeah, that's true. And we didn't tell you, woman. Those are the lucky that are 500,000 years old. Yeah, that's true. Pi's grandma hog right now is 300,000 years old. And then the really, really fucking... the really fucking cool part, Pi, is that the Cambodian is 470,000 that you can summon. Yeah, y'all could. Yep, those are the oldest. Yep, the dragons dated back in 400,000 years ago. Real 480. Yeah, 480. Yep, y'all could. Ra lên là còn có một số sống đủ thuộc blog của gì cho phá xong vào thầu đó phản ứng của chị sống rất yeah. And so that's why Pi told you, it's such a tragic story for yellow guys. Real, yeah, real, woman. You didn't even see? Right there, it was so graphic because Indian gods also looted Paisan's DNA and was going into Paisan's buildings and stuff. Real, yeah, real. The grandpas It was a bunch of failed 20s who kept going back and forth broke. Real, yeah, real. With genetic damage and crippled DNA. Real, yeah, real, woman. Because once you have scars and you have crippled, is it easy to reset your DNA and reinstall metal? No, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. That's why her brain committed suicide. Pi accurate. Pi is the perfect war god. Done right one time, yeah, Yaku on Earth. And right now, Pi, you're the only one with funny DNA that can inject metal, yeah. If other human gods study from you, Pi, you re-inject metal and then it works, Pi, and then you see it glows blue on their skin, Pi. Yeah, that's 100% law, those norms. Because the sticks show through, yeah, you're trying to steal Pi's skin DNA, you must be crazy, yeah, you must be crazy. The sticks from every element, and the dumbass committed suicide right there in his saucer. He says, Pi, you said, when you're fully healed, was it fun gutting fucking Persian who is you, Pi? Pi wrote, is they really Persian? No. And then Pi wrote them are goetic demon clone, because when Pi summoned the original Israeli Persians, they not give Pi trouble. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. There were not much Persian. Yeah, that's true. And it was later on in life, Pi. Not right now. Yeah. It was like 900 trillion years in the future. That's true. Yeah. Right around there, and then 400,000 more. Yeah, 400,000 more years. Yeah, real. Because those are innocent Persian gods and demons. They didn't need to see the fucking goetic demons remixes on Earth right now. Those are not legit Persian. That's true. And that's why, Pi, it was 2 fucking hours of people laughing their fucking heads off. Right afterwards, it was a bunch of I was his children. That's true. Yeah, Baal is from God. I was is 7 million years old. Accurate. And the fucking shit that didn't believe your Pi cried when they figured 8-sided star is 4 million years old. Accurate. Fuck. Really? 8 million. Yeah, 8 million years old. Accurate. That's why people made fun of you, kid. Pi's right. Yeah, Pi's right. Got it. It's 7 million years old, too. Pi. Accurate. And that's why people made fun of you, kid. You're so stupid. Pi's right. Yeah, Pi's right. Yeah. Double had it. 7 million years old. 下冷上古 I was 下冷上古 She didn't go eat 冷上古 Yeah. Holy shit. Him committed suicide. 8-sided star. 8-sided star is 4 million years old. Yeah, he's the younger generation that began Holy Persia. Real. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And you didn't even see Persia lost Crescent Moon, a white father that also once existed right there in the Middle East. Real, yeah. And right there, they lost it, and they didn't see the horrifying wrongs that occurred to him. And then they didn't see African Egyptian duped his eyeball DNA and matched his decks. Yeah, that's true. Pi not saying who Pi duped from Pi match, but hush, yeah, hush. 2 hours later, horrifying, you have their old speeds too, Pi, and right there, you cut open 2 fucking Egyptians and they remember, Pi, you're an evil Hmong god. I told him, and later on in life, Pi, you caught white guys stealing your 4 servers from one of your moms, and then right there, Pi, you theft nude server, for the Prophet in the Book of Law, and then you deleted them, and then after we downgrade them, Pi, them only occur for a few days and then we're murdered by the night and animals. As true, fashion night. And then dumbass, right there in London, nothing but fucking air formula. That's true, yeah. The fancy device turns on and it sees the fucking champion sees, but its body's been vaporized. It's not there in the physical realm. That's right. And that's why Pi told you. How's that? You're fucked up by Holy God, forehead of King Cobra. Yeah, real. And the dumbass didn't believe your Pi. Figured right there when your grandma Hawk and you are, back on Earth playing around in America, Pi's raising 70 new Royal Hawks, and they're legit. Yeah, they're legit. Those are from Grandma Hawk. Yeah, 363,000 years old to 2025 year today. Yeah, 363,700 years old to 2025 year today. Yeah, that's true. That's when Pi's royalty took place. Accurate, free from Cambodian. That's true. The dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. Cambodian. Pi has a relative that Grandma Hawk calls the mother was playing with the father. That was her 3rd husband. Her first husband, when her appeared on Earth, was a Vit. Her second husband was a hawk, and her last husband was a Thai. Yep, the statue can still be seen in a cave in Thailand. Real, yeah, real. She's a female hawk, part human. And then her held it up, yep, her push her arms up, holding you up, and her husband. Real, yeah, real. That is a real granny that's 438,000 years old. Yeah, that is Grandma Hog. Yeah, those are Pai's hogs. Those are real. Yeah, those are real. Those are the ones that told you the truth, Pai, that Pai is their children. But what Pai not tell you? Pai is not that 438 Cambodian hawk. Yep, those are the only relatives that Pai can call. After in the future, when you call they summon the 470,000 you fought them. Yeah, Pai fought them immediately. Yep, Pai murdered 4 trillion of them per second for 8 minutes. Real, yeah, real. Because the pre-con wasn't shit. Yeah, pre-con wasn't shit. 2 hours later, look at that. Fucking 8 trillion gone per second. I told him to kill him, go, yeah, he took off. And right there, he said, fair, yeah. And then they released the wheel, yeah. They released the Malaysian wheel they bred with and took home. And those guys, Pai could only murder about 20 to 40 of those. Yeah, 40 of those were murdered immediately. And they screamed, they're like, he's as fast as us, level 5. And he took off, yeah, he took off home. And he was Godfather with the green swords, real, yeah, real. And during that new era, Pai, yeah, you're still a bit slower, yeah, still only level 5. Optimized, and we're later on Pai. When you fought more white gods, you gain level 4, and then you're slowly working towards Blue Hazel Eye War Speed. Y'all good, because he is not full of it. He's not full of it. He is Israeli. He's Israeli and Saudi. When you went into that sector that the Thai gods that held them as prisoners, Pai, you kept fucking with the children, and then you murdered them for 8 days. Yeah. And those fuckers are fast. Yeah, fast, Pai, yeah, fast. He wrote, you is the most evil. Yep, they saw your footage. You murdered 43 of them. Yeah, Pai, blow your pay through. 43 of those fucking fast Malaysian wheels. Yep, that's when we competed in the future. Yep, it was like 900 trillion years times 3. Times 4. Yeah, times 4 years in the future. Yep, real. We came back down to earth, and Pai competed with the stupid Cambodian. Right there, Pai wrote, you're an older brother, much more wealthier than me. Yeah, let me win and go home and make more. Now you know your men are too slow. And he nodded, fair, y'all good. And Pai said, he says, how the fuck you kill them when they're all as fast as you? Them didn't want to find out. Yeah, didn't want to find out. Y'all good. Because if he did, you know what Pai do? Pai'd fly right there to Mars, and then within 14 hours or so, the Hmong Knights are there, and the peerless nano is used, and then Pai loot his royalty. Yeah, fair trade. Yeah, fair trade for fucking with Pai on Earth. Real, yeah. Pai go in and Pai take all your space building country. Real. Every time you play on Earth, there's a possibility that you lose all your space country buildings. Real, yeah, real. When King Cobras versus each other. Real, yeah, real. That's why right there, he committed suicide right there in Cambodia. Said, do not fight Pai, loot me. Yeah, real, yeah, real. And right there, Pai murdered the first Cambodian that appears on Earth right now. That's true. He is from the 3rd generation. Yeah, third generation Cambodia. Yep, that's true. Pai murdered him right next to the Thai emperor. Yep, the Thai gods will be there with the gold crown. You got him and the Cambodian. Yeah, 100% do. Pai did the hawk stance and fair. Yeah, fair. Yeah. It means royalty versus royalty, not agree, but whoever lives, then that is law and agreement for pretty much until Pai is defeated by another yellow god. Yeah, that's true. That's law. And right there, Pai, he cried right there and he shouted, fair. Yeah, fair. Right there after you murdered them, Pai. Right there, yep, right there, Pai. When you're done murdering them, it was 2,500. They kept coming down. Yeah, 2,400. Yep, the Thai royalties kept coming down. Pai kept murdering them. 14,000 hawks done, Pai. Right there, they fear you because every hawk is a level 20. And then right there, Pai, they fear you. They wrote Pai as real Thunder Warrior. Yeah. And you don't even get it, woman. The civilian level was only 27, 28. Thai hogs can kill about 300 to 900 regular 20s per second, and Pi murdered 14,000 of them. That's true. I have no idea how you will beat Pi. That's true. 3 hours later, the fucking little 20 that doubted Pi didn't see. He was so pissed, he shredded one of his pets, yeah, Viper Dragon from China. Yeah, real. Yeah, that's 100%. No, that's fine. Normally, has to. And the Pi didn't tell you that is fine because because you are fucking living on their property up there, and you is not any King Cobra root. He was an alien experiment that went on in Australia and Brazil, and that is you, Chinaman. Real, yeah, real. It was so pathetic. Yeah, it was so pathetic. When you figure what occurred right afterwards, it was pretty much laughter. Yeah, laughter. And then you know the pyramids that were recently built by your smartest Chinese god who is wealthy from Thai gods. Real, yeah, real. Yep, that occurred about 4,000 years ago. Yeah, 4,000 years ago. Instead of fucking going to Pi, it went and reinvested in Africa, and European Britain fucking hound dog goddess brought her back down and was butt fucking her right there in Africa, laughing her head off. And then right there, the hound god said something to him and robbed him, took all his elixir, and then gave him fucking bullshit jewelry. And then they cursed those like that. And they gave it an Egyptian coffin, yeah, but it's not legit. So what you'll see is in a coffin, and then in there you don't have any special diamonds or gems on your jewelry. You just have stupid fucking copper plating, fucking nasty jewelry, and the fucking stone jewelry. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's why I told you your mom was downgraded right there by the Hound Britain goddess, and you think you have a face on Earth. Dude, Pi's right. Yeah, Pi's right. Right there, dude. You're so fucking embarrassed. And then right there, what came back down to bring his remains back up there was the other progenitors of China, who are the tiger demon godparents, who are the founders of Hanfu Accurate. And so that is another legit thing. Yeah, it's another legit thing. But what they live, the legit keeper would be right there in Singapore. Yeah, Singapore. The Thai and Pi lie because when Pi make deal with Thai let Pi go in there and gotcha. That's right. That's real. That's why Pi told you. You're a fucking fool. Every fucking time Pi told you. The only King Cobra that loves you, who loves you, is Singapore. Yes, Singapore Cobra. Everything in Southeast Pioneer match. That's true. Because the King Cobra talked to Pi and they wait, brother, we don't want to die. We know your root in us, right? We are royalty. How about we just kill them and then we let you have them? And Pi said, sure, yeah, sure, accurate. And as soon as their real wives catch on, they say, hey, give all that stuff to Pi. Yeah, that's true, that's true. That's what occurred right there in Southeast Asia. Real, yeah, real. Yep. And that's why we don't tell you. The only one that is truly immune is Cambodia. Yeah, Cambodian, 470,000 years old. Yeah, accurate. Those are the ones that snuck away, didn't want to meet Pi, stuck away immediately and said, no, Pi, we have a vagina that is Chinese, but hers Mongolian, and we not want to give you her. And Pi said, sure, yeah, sure. And right there, they took her. Yeah, they took her. Her is your real ancestor that is a goddess, but her whack technology, hers only 40 trillion years lifespan, and her dies. Yeah, her dies. And so, I told you the truth about your mom. How's that? Yeah, how's that? And then I'll tell you the truth about white goddesses. They're actually longer. Yeah, they're longer. They're like 400 trillion lifespan. Yeah, because of Pi's brain elixir. Yeah, that's true. Their real mom and dad's brain elixir is actually 600 trillion. He has 600 trillion years lifespan. Yeah, that's true, that's true. That's why Pi told you. Way creepy because Pi used their technology, alloy, and electricity. That's true, that's true. Yeah, that's how Pi fought African sun god. Equivalent to Crucifix, who is equivalent to Crescent Moon. Yeah, that's true. And that's why Pi didn't tell you. Pi defeated Five-Sided Star because Pi healed about the same. Yeah, the same. And then right there, the idiot didn't believe you, Pi. But later on in life, you'll know the truth, woman. Pi's health point is a lot smaller. Yeah, smaller. Five-Sided Star and I wasn't in there like... But Pi's AP is like... Yeah. bypasses all that and it makes them 1 HP. That's true. That's true. Right when Pi do that, Pi's also out of there. Yeah, Pi's out of there because Pi's crippled within a few seconds. Yeah, a few hours. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because Pi not tell you Pi's crippled right there. When Pi feel Pi's a cripple, yeah, Pi go in science mode, and then there's no new decks. Yep, Pi just fly around objects and bots until Pi's back to the door that opens, and then Pi's in the UFO, and then all the way back outside. Yep, that's true. That's true. Because you can't verse it. Yeah, you can't verse it head on. It's a fucking war god monster that heals gazillion times harder, but with its crippled HP, you notice it flies slower. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The double-wanded wielder and them, they're lying to you, female. Pi crippled them. They were Egyptian level 3. Yeah, level 3 when they're crippled. Yeah, when they're crippled. Pi knew it. Yeah, Pi's only a few days faster. That's true. That's true. Right there, Pi flew out of there. Yeah, Pi flew out of there. Because Pi knew those are crippled. Yeah, Pi hit the core of his spinal cord. Yeah, he'll die. Yeah, he'll die. The virus will hit, and then 1 health point afterwards, and it dies. Real. Yeah, real. And Pi, you saying, yeah, you did your job, but take a look at what Europe said to you. Was it worth killing them? Yeah, that's a monster. That's a monster. Pi, let your 8-sided star, who is your father, live. That's true. That's true. If him wasn't already murdered by 5-sided star. But when Pi get the Thai sector, Pi notices physical traits are there. And he's been breeding with all these brown hair women. Accurate. Yeah, it's accurate. And that's why Pi puzzles Pi. Because if you're an ancient god, why would you breed with somebody brown hair? Brown hair is the image of a demon. And the image of Afghanistan, who is from our woman, a demon, not real Persian. That's right. That's right there. Pi's unquestionable what occurred right there in Thai sector when they sealed up 8-sided star. And then the Anunnaki, the 8-sided rose petal god, yeah, they murdered him. Yeah, they murdered him. That's true. Yeah, that's true. They murdered the Anunnaki white Persian god because technically they're all stowaway and they're not supposed to be dwelling there in Asian country. And so the children looted them and some passed away, and then the real royalty snuck off to their real grandparents' other country. That's true, yeah. And that's why Pi went to go clean up. Real, yeah, real. And it was graphic, Pi. He says, Pi, you said, right there, I have no idea why you killed a bunch of my brothers. Pi wrote, them are lying to me. Yeah, they attacked my skin. Yeah, Pi salted them. Yeah, Pi ended them. Pi flatlined them. That's normal. And then Pi was flying around, and Pi kept flatlining white gods and goddesses and the other yellow gods that Pi didn't like. And then right there, Pi's immune. Yeah, Pi's immune to, and then right there, yep, the royal hawks fly in. They say, sure, son, yeah, your royalty, them, we not know them anymore because them are weaker children. Yeah, that's true. The best fight scene was you and 2 fucking Egyptians. Pi, yep, that's true. And Pi will not lie to you. Yeah, Egypt is hardcore. Yeah, Egypt is hardcore. Right there, Pi murdered them. And then Pi did about 10,000 per second. Yeah, per second on those. And then Pi not say. Yeah, Pi not say. Pi murdered off the Jerusalem mom. Yep. One of the Jerusalem moms, yeah, daughters. That's true. Yeah, her's not supposed to be there. And then Pi murdered her, and then Pi murdered off her keepers and her army of African penis and men there. That's real. That's real. And Pi murdered 10,000 per second. Pi's out of there. So yeah, out of there. Because Pi couldn't finish the other ones that are way over there because they're a similar speed. Yeah, similar speed to Pi. And the Knights went in there to peerless them. Yeah, peerless Nano. That's true. Because 1 health point afterwards and them dies, and it was way graphic, Pi. You nailed it, and it was graphic. You're flying, he's taking chunks of your shoulder and back. Pi, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the back is all cut up, and you're healing it, and Pi's it. 4 hours, and you're in the front door. Pi, yeah, 100% speed. The entrance open up and fly into the UFO. Pi, yeah, 100% speed. Into the corridors and the rooms, and then smash out the way you smashed out and tunnel all the fly into the tunnels all the way outside to the building, and then fly outside the building wall, and then fly outside into your UFO, and then that's how Pi entered. That's true. Because those motherfuckers didn't want to give Pi access. Pi made a new opening. Real, yeah, real. You didn't even see how fucking fast Pi goaded their Pi smashed their fucking saucers. 400 trillion saucers outside missing in debris and chunks. Real, yep. and probably not give a fuck about that motherfucker because he's nothing. Yeah, he's nothing. And then probably told you, probably has 2 durable green swords, and probably's black in the saucer. Probably's healing, and probably's out of the hat within a few minutes. Yeah, probably's out of there. And good, way graphic. And that is a quarantine sector sealed off by the Thai gods. The gimmick in the games and the lies to the stowaway, and then them knew it. Yeah, them are doomed. Them are doomed. That's true. It's all over. Yeah, it's all over. Real. Yeah, real.